Good morning, students. From today, we will start revision. And our first chapter for revision is the Cold War era. And in our revision schedule, we will discuss all the facts, all the important facts of the chapter. So just to start, Cold War era. Which period is known as the Cold War era? We all know. After Second World War, the end of Second World War led to the rise of two significant centers of powers, the US and USSR. Right? Two superpowers were there, US and USSR. And we have seen the dominance of these two superpowers was central to the Cold War. It is also describes the NAM, non-aligned movement, as a challenge to the dominance of two superpowers and attempts by the non-aligned countries to attain economic development and political independence. So let's start to revise the important facts of the chapter. First of all, we have seen Cuban Missile Crisis. Now, we have to understand what was this crisis about. What was that Cuban Missile Crisis? The Cold War referred to competition, tension and series of confrontation between the US and USSR backed by their respective allies. So, in Cold War era, there were two superpowers with their allies, and there were competition, tension and series of confrontation between these two superpowers and their allies. Cuba was an ally of Soviet Union and got both diplomatic and financial aid from it. Right? Cuba was the ally of Soviet Union. Cuba was following the communist ideology and getting financial aid from USSR. Nikita Khrushchev, the leader of Soviet Union, decided to convert the Cuba into a Russian base. So in 1962, he placed nuclear missiles in Cuba. The installation of these weapons put the US for the first time under fire from close range and nearly doubled the number of cities in the American mainland which could be threatened by the USSR. Just because USSR was making Cuba its base, army base, and so the American cities and many of its army based were in the range of within the range of USSR. So there were threat to America. A clash seemed imminent in what came to be known as Cuban Missile Crisis, and it made the whole world nervous by creating clashes between the two superpowers, the US and the Soviet Union, namely the Cold War. In 1945, Allied forces led by US, Soviet Union, Britain, France defeated the Axis power led by Germany, Italy and Japan, ending the Second World War. So, in the Second World War, there were two groups. One was called Allied forces, in which US, Soviet Union, Britain, France were in one side, and the Axis power. In Axis power, Germany, Italy and Japan were in one side. Also in 1945, the Second World War ended and the Cold War began when the US dropped bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in diplomatic manner, causing Japan to surrender. Both the powers became reluctant to initiate war to protect world from large-scale destruction, as they were aware that it will not lead only political aim to them. Critics of the US decision to drop the bomb have argued that US knew that Japan was about to surrender and that it was unnecessary to drop the bombs. They suggested that the US action was intended to stop the Soviet Union from making military and political gains in Asia and elsewhere, and to show Moscow that the United States was supreme. US supporters have argued that the dropping of the atomic bomb was necessary to end the war quickly and to stop further loss of American and Allied lives. Whatever the motive, the consequence of the end of Second World War was the rise of two new powers on the global stage. So, with the end of Second World War, we have seen rise of two superpowers at the global stage. With the defeat of Germany and Japan, the devastation of Europe and in many other parts of the world, the United States and Soviet Union became the greatest power in the world with the ability to influence events anywhere on the earth. While the Cold War was an outcome of the emergence of US and USSR as two superpowers rival to each other, it was also rooted in the understanding that the destruction caused by the use of atom bomb is too costly for the country to bear. The logic is simple yet powerful. When two rival powers are in possession of nuclear weapons capable of inflicting death and destruction unacceptable to each other, a full-fledged war is unlikely. Therefore, the backdrop of the end of Second World War led to the beginning of the Cold War. Here now we will see the emergence of two power blocks. With the end of Second World War, two new powers rose on the global stage, the USA and USSR. The greed of expansion of their spheres of influence divided the world into Western Alliance the Western Alliance led by USA. The USA built NATO, South Asian Treaty Organization, that is SEATO, and Central Treaty Organization, that is CENTO. The Soviet Union created Eastern Alliance known as Warsaw Pact. The superpowers required smaller states as allies to gain an access to vital resources, territories to launch weapons, and troops to spy on each other, and economic support. So, why these superpowers tried to make smaller country their allies? It is so because they wanted to gain on access to the vital resources of these smaller countries. They wanted to launch weapons and troops to spy on each other and for economic support. The other important development was the non-aligned movement, NAM. In this period, other important development was non-aligned movement, which gave the newly independent countries a way of staying out of the alliance. Then we will see some arenas of Cold War. Arenas of Cold War were areas where crisis and war threatened to occur between the alliance system, but did not lead to another world war. The two superpowers were poised for direct confrontation in Korea, Berlin, the Congo, and several other places. Sometimes countries outside the blocs, that is the non-aligned countries, played a role in reducing Cold War conflicts and averting some grave crises. Role of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, a key leader of NAM, was important in mediating between the two Koreas in the Congo crisis, and United Nations Secretary General played a key mediatory role. Then we have seen in this chapter the challenge to bipolarity. The bipolarity was challenged by non-aligned movement, that is NAM, which provided the newly decolonized country of Asia, Africa and Latin America a third option not to join the either alliance. 5 founder members of NAM were there were 5 founder members of NAM, and their name were Yugoslavia's Joseph Broz Tito, India's Jawaharlal Nehru, Egypt's leader Gamal Abdel Nasser, Indonesia's Sukarno, and Ghana's Kwame Nkrumah. The first non-aligned summit was held in Belgrade in 1961. As non-aligned grew into a popular international movement, countries of various different political systems and interests joined it. Neutrality refers to a policy of staying out of war. Non-aligned countries, including India, work to prevent war and rivalries between other. However, these countries were actually involved in wars for various reasons. Then we have seen new international economic order. The non-aligned countries were more than merely mediators during the Cold War. The majority of NAM was categorized as least developed countries, that is LDC, which initiated economic development under the head of New International Economic Order. The idea of New International Economic Order failed unfortunately because of stiff competition for the developed countries. Now, how India reacted to the Cold War? India responded to growth of Cold War into twofold. First, it stayed away from alliances, and secondary, it raised voice against newly decolonized countries becoming part of either the alliance. NAM served India's interest also to participate in international decision and maintain balance between two superpowers. India's policy on NAM was said to be unprincipled and inconsistent. NAM is based on a resolve to democratize international system to redress existing inequities that poor and very small countries need not to follow any of the big powers. Instead, they can pursue the independent foreign policy also. These core values make NAM relevant even in today's scenario, as it has stood off adverse circumstances. So this is all about we have seen in our chapter. There were some important words like Cuban Missile Crisis. Cuban Missile Crisis means it created tension between the US and USSR when Soviet Union installed missile in Cuba to make a Russian base. Then, what is Allied forces? These were one of the two camps during the Second World War, including the US, Soviet Union, Britain, and France. And what is Axis power? It was another camp against Allied forces led by Germany, Italy, and Japan. Alliance system. It was created by the two superpowers to expand their sphere of influence all over the world. Deterrence. It was a logic followed by both the superpowers to avoid large-scale destruction. That is, not to take place hot war between them, because both of them had the capacity to retaliate. Then we have seen decolonization. To make colonized state free from the rule of mother country is referred to decolonization. And there is given some timeline also. Like in 1939 to 45, the Second World War period. 1947, American President Harry Truman's doctrine about containment of communism. 1947 to 52, Marshall Plan, US aid for reconstruction of Western Europe. 1948 to 49, Berlin blockade by the Soviet Union. 1940, NATO came into existence. 1950 to 53, Korean War period. 1954, defeat of the French Vietnam at Dien Bien Phu, signing of Geneva Accord, division of Vietnam along the 17th parallel formation of SEATO. 19